Hello, everyone. I'm assuming everyone can hear me very well. Excellent. Hi, everyone. When I started as a journalist 17 years ago, I was the person through whom many people got to project to a wider audience. Today, of course, that's very different. And on our panel, we have people who have been able to reach millions of people around the world directly. And we have Shania, who facilitates some people to do that. So I am going to start off. I'm going to start off with you, Cassey, and I'm going to ask you. Obviously, you have millions of followers. You were once Time's most influential person on the internet, and you've used your platform to give out a lot of positive messages on body image and things like that. But how do you turn all those views and all that goodwill into a business?
Okay, so I would have to say this story starts in 2009 when I uploaded my first YouTube video. It was a free Pilates video, 10 minutes long, and then over the course of the next several years, I started building a really deep relationship with my fans. And the reason I tell you that is because when PopFlex began, which is my activewear line, there was already that relationship. People who worked out with me that now wanted to wear my activewear, wear the leggings, wear the sports bras, because they felt like they had been part of this journey. And so that's how that relationship began. But these days, how am I turning that relationship into views, into actual sales? It's these videos where I'm talking about my designs, Why am I putting no front seam on my legging? Because it helps create an anti-camel toe effect. I know us ladies in here don't like that. We're talking about different inseams. We're talking about pockets on the sides because I hate hate pants without pockets. And so really bringing the customer into the journey, into the why behind the product has really allowed them to understand and love the product and from its conception. And so those videos are going viral. They're completely selling out products within a matter of hours, and I've been so fortunate because the algorithm has been in my favor, I guess. But over the past few years, our sales have doubled year over year consistently, and these videos have really helped, so it's been great.
Amazing. Well, Sean, you are in the business of helping creators turn their content into a business. Can you tell us a little bit more about how someone who's managed to establish a little bit of an audience online is then able to start making money from it?
Yeah, sure. Just a quick shameless plug. So Kajabi is an all-in platform that helps knowledge creators market, publish, or sell their digital content, such as podcasts, video courses, newsletters, live stream coaching. We have over 60,000 customers that have made $4.1 billion to date.
Wow.
Billion, right?
Wow.
So incredibly amazing. They've been incredibly successful on this platform. And it's interestingly, Cassey and Daniel, they're incredibly successful. They have tens of millions of followers between you guys, right? And really good at what you do. However, they represent the 1% of the creator economy, right? The majority of the 99% aren't so successful. They're making actually below minimum wage, to be completely honest. And so I think for instance, if you go to YouTube, if you want to make $40,000 on YouTube, you have to have 100,000 followers or more, create 2 pieces of content on a regular basis, like once a week. But if you look at the 51 million YouTube accounts out there, under 1% have over 100,000 followers, right? So when I was at TikTok as well, we launched a $1 billion creator fund. And that $1 billion creator fund, people that were part of that fund were getting paid out $5 a month. Right? You're not really earning meaningful income on this platform, unfortunately.
No.
So what Kajabi aims to do is change that entire game. We want to really empower creators, the 99%, earn meaningful income by building that audience on social, but bring them to your place of business, your online business. This is where you have full control of your destiny, right? You have essentially the way to build your website, collect the emails. You get to decide the terms in terms of how much you want to charge the customers, right? What type of content you want to offer. But in this time of a recession, when brand deals could potentially dry up and so on, it's really critical that you're able to have full control of your business. That's essentially what Kajabi does.
Mm-hmm. Amazing. Well, thank you so much. And Daniel, if I can come to you. For those who may not have seen your videos, I think you bring that sort of that childlike excitement, like turning over a rock in the garden and looking at what's underneath that with your videos. And the one in which you cut into a rattlesnake's rattle. You both have to watch it and can't watch it. Right? It's one of those. But why don't you tell us a little bit about how you build an audience online and be as technical, as geeky as possible. Tell us about algorithms. Tell us about how you go about building that audience.
Yeah, no, I'm happy to be here also with such great people on stage. And yeah, our journey has been really weird. It started as a second grade science project with my son in 2014. He wanted to know what's inside of sports balls. We cut open those sports balls and then put those videos online in this was before kids wanted to be actual YouTubers. And about a year later, randomly we saw people watching these videos, and I think we made $4 in ad revenue in one day off of this video, and I was like, Lincoln, he was just this little guy. I'm like, do you want to keep making videos? You could have some extra money for college. He's like, sure, Dad, let's do it. And so we started making these videos in 2015, and within a year we gained 1 million subscribers. 2016, we had that random rattlesnake rattle video that it was the #3 most viral video in all of 2016. And so from the geeky side of things, you hear a lot of the stuff. If you want to become a creator, or if you are a creator, there's a lot of different search engine optimization things that you can learn. I was a pharmaceutical sales rep before. I sold Viagra to doctors. Like, that was my job. So I had to go from learning that skill to trying to learn how to become a YouTuber. And one of the things that I had to learn, going back to that rattlesnake one, was being consistent, publishing once. We published once a week. That was like a consistent time period that we could deal with. It wasn't, some people do twice a week, 3 times a week. And that week we didn't have a video. And I thought the rattlesnake rattle video was going to be really boring because, spoiler alert, there's nothing inside of a rattlesnake rattle. It's just empty. It's just something with the buttons that are on top of each other. They make noise. But that video turned out to have a lot of curiosity to the world. The thumbnail was so catchy, the title was good, and people had a little bit of fear. They had to click on it. And so it got 42 million views in a week. And so there's a lot of things with becoming a creator. One of the things I would say is just like, work really hard, be okay with some videos failing, learn from the videos that are doing really well, and try to change some of the things that you're doing. Like, you can look at the retention on the back end and see when people click away. And I would always realize that as soon as we said something like, well, that's what's inside of this, but we would talk for another 3 minutes about something else, the retention would just drop off because people were like, we're out. So I'm like, all right, we need to change that. We got to do this and that. So it's definitely a learning process. And I think if somebody's looking to get started, or if you're growing on there, be okay with failing with some of your videos because you're going to find success, and be okay with going to other platforms and trying other platforms because there can be the different audiences for the same type of content on the different platforms. So, yeah.
Fantastic. Well, for those of you who don't know, Sean here used to be head of products at TikTok. So, we've got to pick his brains a little bit on how to build an audience on TikTok. Like, how do I get my TikTok videos to have more than 20 views, which is what they're at currently, I think. Yeah.
So you want to learn the secrets to the TikTok algo?
Please, tell us.
You guys want to know?
I want to know, yeah.
So I could tell you that the TikTok algo is constantly optimized on a regular basis, like literally every single day. There are certain attributes that they use to ensure that you get more views. So number one, the first and foremost, the most important is that your videos are actually finished. So you want people to actually finish that entire video. There's also tests that we've done to see if people are willing to click into the profile page and then watch more videos, right? So people started gaming that. We're like, oh, we got to start like minimizing that component as well. There was also certain types of music that you can play in the background that also can help boost that video as well. And then depending on like what type of content we wanted to increase in the platform. So at one point, we're trying to increase a lot of educational, useful, diverse content. We dispersed dance and lip syncing. So we made it where like some types of content would have more views, just the type of genre of content. Right? So I think like there's definitely ways to boost it, but I think the most important is like make sure like people finish your videos, and then the other things I've mentioned there. So
amazing. So I've been walking around here, and there's quite a lot of angst about the future of tech, and there's a lot of concern about the environment we are in at the moment. But is the sort of the creator economy, if we can call it that, do you think, is that a little bit insulated from all of that? Cassey, where do you see the future of the creator economy, do you think?
The future of the creator economy. So I've been in this for over 13 years now. Started on YouTube, then went through all the social media platforms, and I love this world of short form video right now. It's really easy for anyone to get started. But what I'm seeing, and what I've seen every single time, is that people burn out, and they burn out because they're no longer passionate about their content. And the reason why I say that is because as you grow as an individual, you need to also evolve your content as well, but you need to also diversify your business. So it's not just about content creation. And so for me, it's been about designing product, creating product, so that these things can live on past Blogilates, a legacy brand after I die. Like, that is what I'm trying to do. So I think figuring out what that service or what that product is, whether you're using Kajabi or some other platform to sell physical product, like figure out what that is so that you can become more deeply integrated with your customers and with your audience.
So maybe I can be cheeky and ask you, is that where most of your sales come from? Do they come from your website, or where do they come?
Yeah, so most of my sales come from my website, popflexactive.com, and actually this is going to be crazy for you guys to hear, but less than 1% of our entire revenue is actually from brand campaigns and ad revenue. Like, that's how great the business is in terms of the product side. But then again, for me, I've always loved designing. That's my passion. I understand that may not be for other people, but it's been really cool not to have to rely on content as my main source of income, and really just focus on making better products, making sure people feel really happy when they wear our clothes. Yeah.
Amazing. Well, maybe I can get Daniel to chime in on this. Do you also see the creator economy?
Yeah, I think it is some uncertain times, and some people, no matter what industry you're in, you might be worrying about the economy. I think Cassey's a great example of a lot of YouTubers that have really, especially in the last couple of years, you've been doing it for a long time, but there's other creators like Mr. Beast that just started Mr. Beast Burger, and now that's worth over $1 billion. You've got the McKnights, who have a thing called Heritage that sells products inside of Walmart. So there are a lot of YouTubers that are doing that. And from my side of things, one of the areas that I think is like the low-hanging fruit for creators that still is taking your content. I've been making videos not quite as long as 2009, but from 2014, we have a huge library of content. There are so many different platforms out there right now where you can make ad revenue, and you don't even have to make new content. You can cut down the content and put things on there. So far this year, just on Facebook, I have not made one video specifically for Facebook. We've had 400 million views just on Facebook. We've made more ad revenue on Facebook than we've made on Google. And then on Snapchat, they have a creator fund where they're able to give you money based off of different things that you do on there. So there are other platforms where you can take your content, cut it down, carve it out, put it on the platforms, and make money from it. We have over 2 million followers on TikTok, and I think I've made like 2 actual videos for TikTok, like actually filming with my camera. All of it is just stuff that we've either made for Instagram or for YouTube, and we just post it on there. And so there is a way for you to make content. Just make sure that you're expanding it out. You're not just falling in love with one platform. At the same time, I think it's important to make every platform think that you love them the most. So YouTube needs to think that you love them. You don't go and post a YouTube video on a Facebook page. You don't talk about Instagram Reels when you're on TikTok. It's pretty common knowledge, but just know behind the scenes, those platforms really don't like it when you talk about the other ones. So anyway.
And just to piggyback off of that, because we talked about this, when I was on TikTok and I literally wrote out in my video, like, I started YouTube in 2009, I got like 30 views, literally 30 in 30 minutes, which is not right for me, because the videos usually get like 1 million. And then I was just searching Reddit forums, all this stuff, and I was like, okay, maybe I should change YouTube to YT. And then that video ended up getting 2.5 million views. So like there's stuff like that that's happening and changing all the time. I don't know what they are. It seems like it's changing all the time. So just like keep experimenting, because that was extremely frustrating. So yeah, like you're right. They don't want you to talk about other platforms on their platform.
That's a great example.
Yeah.
And I really do think that like with these platforms, all the information is free in a way. Like you don't need to go, especially in this economy where things are tough. Don't go buy brand new fancy cameras, hire a film videographer, an editor, think that you need to go overboard on this content. You can research stuff to find out the best practices for each one of the platforms and tailor your content. Yes, it takes time, and it's going to take some time to like edit the videos, but the SEO tips are out there, and you can learn from creators like you guys are all doing from being here. So, yeah.
So Sean, were you responsible for her getting just 20 views? In,
No comment. No comment.
No comment.
Excellent.
Yeah, so I think, so regarding the future of the creator economy, I think I just want to add, like, it's, the middle class of creators will continue to improve and increase, and they will be able to sustain a living. I think the big portion of that, what's going to power the middle class, is going to be direct pay. So people, their fans paying the creators directly, versus like relying so much on the social platforms. So that's a huge component of, I think, what's going to happen in the future. And I think a lot of people in this audience honestly can be creators in the future as well. I don't know how many are in the audience today, but it's a really, really powerful thing. So for instance, we have a Google PM. He was, when he joined Google, he was there for 3 years. He got questions around like how to interview for Google, how to prepare for the interview, what questions they would ask. So he literally just put together a PowerPoint presentation, got a webcam, filmed himself, and created a course on it. Very simple, nothing professional, right? And now he makes $4 million a year. $4 million, right? So he said, well, I want to quit my Google job and do this full time, right? So there's many different types of creators like this, where there's another creator that's she was a nurse, and she basically was an expert at sleep training kids. So she created a course on how to sleep train kids. She charges, I think, like $200 for this course, and she has like basically over 100,000 people paying her, right? So these are the new types of middle-class creators that are coming up, and they're doing incredibly well by providing content that can really improve people's lives, whether it's through health, financials, how to get better jobs, how to take care of kids, whatever it might be, right? So you find a niche, you know exactly what your expertise is, find that audience, create content around it, you can have yourself a really powerful business.
Amazing. But of course, with gaining an audience comes, well, a lot of feedback, right? A lot of noise. So, Cass, maybe I can ask you, how do you deal with, I'm sure you get some negativity, or maybe a lot of negativity. How do you deal with that? Because your mental health is also important. You're always putting yourself out there.
Yeah, negative comments have followed me for the past 13 years. And when I was in fitness, I would constantly get a lot of body shaming. Like, you're too fat, you're too skinny, you're too muscly, you're too everything. And it was really hard for me because when I was uploading Pilates videos, I was just thinking of myself as an instructor, a teacher, not a model or something like that. So that was really hard for me, and the way that I was able to battle that, and look, I'm not saying it's any easier these days, I still cry sometimes, so what I did was I actually took some of those really negative comments saying things like, you know, you have no abs, why do you have such a big stomach, or like whatever, crazy stuff. I took that and turned it into a video of myself literally photoshopping my body into what the commenters thought they wanted me to look like. And so basically, I took the negativity and reversed the power and turned it into positivity. And what ended up happening was that video went super viral. I was on Good Morning America, the Today Show. It was like internationally viral. And it was a really great thing. So it healed me mental health-wise. And it was able to take the power away from the negative commenters and give it back to me. So that's one example that I've done. I've done that a couple more times over the years because it just keeps happening. But people are just nasty out there. And I just feel like, look, I understand criticism, I love it, I want to use it to help me be better, but hateful comments, no, that cannot live in this community.
But I mean, is it a challenge? Sorry to stick with you for a minute, but
yeah.
How do you then, you've had a cry because someone's been incredibly nasty to you, how do you then go about putting out another video? Because that must be a challenge, right? The next video must be a challenge?
It is challenging. How do you do it? I mean, you just keep moving on, because if those people, I mean, like, these are not the people contributing, not the people buying my products, but not the people that love me. These might be the people taking my videos and making videos about my videos because it gives them views and stuff. Like, it's just like one of those things where you gotta keep going, you gotta keep moving on. And look, I know I'm not doing something bad, and if I'm not trying to hurt anybody, I'm just gonna keep moving forward. And look, it's hard, it is so hard, but you just gotta keep going if you believe in yourself. Yeah.
Amazing. Thank you. Daniel, do you want to come in here? Do you get much negative?
I think it's great that you made that video. Ours did not go as viral, but there was one of the most common things. I had my son in the videos, and he was always there, and he's just this little guy. He's like this cute little blonde-haired kid, and we'd get these videos from the haters that clicked on the video to see what's inside of something, and they're like, why did I have to watch this little kid on this channel? I just wanted to see what's inside this thing or whatever. And so they would say things like, cut your son open. Why don't you see what's inside of him? Like, seriously, like, you're just like, why would you even say that? So one year for April Fools, I bought one of those magic tools with like the saw that you go through, and the blade drops off in the thing. I didn't know how these worked. And then it goes across, and then it picks up with another blade on the other side of the platform. And I started it, I was like, these are the comments, and I showed all these comments. I'm like, we gotta listen to our fans, this is how we got here. And then we did that, and as soon as I did that, Lincoln jumped up and he's like, he said something like, I don't even remember, he's like, don't be a bully or something. And then we talked about it, and we're like, come on guys, let's be nice to people on the internet. But one thing I'll say for like cutting out the noise, it's important to listen to your fans. They will give you a lot of guidance on what to cut open. The rattlesnake rattle was a comment from somebody. I immediately bought it off of eBay, and then I got it, and I was like, this isn't gonna be very interesting. Ended up being interesting. But also, sometimes you don't listen to what they're saying. Like, I'll publish a video, we make a lot of videos about electric cars. I love electric cars, so I'm one of, like an influencer on electric cars. So we published a video about a Tesla, and people will comment like, just make a channel about Teslas. We're sick of this. We don't want to see it. I'll make a video, the next video about golfing, which my son loves, I love. And they're like, you should make a golf channel. Don't make this. But at the same time, you look at the stats. I can publish 4 videos. They'll do mediocre. I publish a video with a Tesla in the title and the thumbnail, and it's going to get 5 times the views and 5 times the comments, and people love it, and the ad revenue is really good on it. So yes, I'm okay listening to the fans and listening to the haters that are sick of listening to another Tesla video, but I personally enjoy making them, so that's important. And then also, they actually do well on our channel, so that's okay if this person doesn't want to hear that thing. I'm still going to make videos about it because I want to be around in 5 more years still making videos, and I don't want to get burned out, like you were saying, and I make videos that we love.
Exactly.
Amazing. Excellent. We don't have a huge amount of time left, so if you guys don't mind, I'm going to save the last question for Cassey.
Okay.
And I'm just going to ask you, you know, for someone who's just starting off, very often we tend to go and look for something that's popular. You know, you look for something that, you know, like, I don't know, that people are struggling with at the moment, and you want to identify where the demand is. How do you balance identifying the demand with being authentic? What advice do you have to someone who's just starting off?
Okay, I am a huge believer in doing what speaks to your heart. I understand looking at the demand and serving the demand, but if your soul isn't in it, it's not going to last. Like that, you're not going to last, it's not going to last, and you're just going to be very unhappy. I mean, I have some creator friends that are doing very successful, but I can see them beginning to find ways to make passive income because they cannot stand what they're doing anymore. So you might get stuck in a place you don't want to be. I really think find whatever that passion is inside of you. You don't know what that is? Think about things that make you happy. Do more of it. Things that make you less happy, do less of it. So let that guide you, and I'm sure you're going to find a little something. You're going to find that community who is just as passionate as you are about the thing, and you're going to have a thriving community. Because it's so important to like find your weird and just like go all in on it. I think that's the beauty of the internet.
Thank you so much. I think we have 10 seconds left, so maybe Sean, we can just ask you very quickly to tell us what you see as the most sort of successful creators. What are the types of creators that you think would be most successful out there?
I think, so when it comes to the middle class of creators, 99%, really knowing your niche, knowing exactly who you're solving for, what the problem is you're solving for, and then providing real value to your audience, right? Also, owning your audience is really, really important as well. So providing a really amazing community for your audience to then nurture, motivate each other, learn with each other. So I think like from that perspective, like it's really important to have a really good community product. And that's one of the reasons we just acquired a company called Vibely as well. So that our customers can then build a really amazing community around their audience and make sure that they're basically inspiring each other to continue and be successful. Yeah.
Amazing. Well, thank you. Well, I'm going to go out there and make another TikTok video, I think, now. And I hope all of you do the same. And thank you, everyone, for your time. It was really amazing.
Thank you for having us.